Hi guys. So I just want to share today about brainstorming and how it's effective for ELLs and the strategies that I would use in my classroom to support their listening and their speaking skills. So first of all, brainstorming, if you break it down the way that we use that word, because I feel like when I learned that in school, I didn't really fully understand its meaning because the words are a little abstract. But when you think about it, if you break it down to brain, like that represents our thoughts and our ideas and the knowledge that we have. And storm is usually, Wikipedia said the words explosion or spontaneous, which is kind of true. Like in a storm, it's raining or thundering or lightning and wind, and it's kind of all over the place. And that's kind of what brainstorming is. It's just throwing out ideas from every which way about with as much relevance as possible, but kind of like crazy ideas, so you can get more ideas, or not only that to generate new ideas, but to also organize your ideas and get more of them, or kind of like figure out the best ideas. It's also the best way to solve problems, brainstorming all the things about something and seeing like where you stand on something. So basically, brainstorming is collecting thoughts, and these thoughts are collected, they're all accepted, and there's no evaluating, there's no judging, and it's just basically trying to come up with as much as you can about a concept or a thought or a topic or whatever. The benefits of brainstorming include calmer nerves, because you're gonna have a plan, you're gonna have kind of more of an organized sequence to help you either make a decision or to solve a problem. It's going to help you save time, because you're not going to be struggling as you write a paper and be kind of all over the place. You'll have you'll know where you're going. It's kind of like writing out a map or instructions or something for yourself. And it also helps you stay on topic if you're writing a paper. This is an effective strategy for ELLs because they're able to visualize the words being used, the language, and they're also able to kind of see how one idea connects to another idea and like kind of see how that's mapped out. And it also exposes them to more language, which is super important for their proficiency. The more words they're exposed to, the quicker they're going to absorb more vocabulary. And it definitely reduces anxiety for them, because it's kind of a judgment-free zone, and they're able to just open up and share and without worry about being right or wrong. It supports their listening, like I said, because there's no judgment. So they can hear ideas, get their own ideas, and share ideas. It lowers that anxiety of just, the whole group process. And it also would be good for them to understand like ideas, words, and concepts from the culture that they're being immersed in, and kind of understanding more about that. It's really cool how language, like some languages have words that we don't have, that have meanings that we don't have in our English language. And I think it's super important that we're able to kind of share that with each other, because then we come up with things that we've never known before. Like for example, there's like love. In other languages, they have specific words for specific meanings of love, and like we just have the one word love with like a bunch of meanings. So, but it kind of gets just blended and more vague, and other languages have words that are very specific and ideas that we don't really like think about. Anyway, so speaking gives them the opportunity to share freely. They give their thoughts or ask questions, answer questions without any fear of rejection or anything. Their participation is encouraged. I suggest doing brainstorming in smaller groups, so the groups can all have the opportunity to share, because the whole classroom is going to be hard to get everybody to share. But in the smaller groups, it's more intimate, and it might feel safer too for ELLs to share. So they'll be encouraged to participate if they're quiet, just like, hey, what's on your mind? What are you thinking? And it's going to be rewarding for them to share their thoughts without judgment, so it's going to build their confidence and their speaking skills, which is really important, because then the more confidence they get in speaking, the more they're going to speak, which is great. We want that, definitely. So in the classroom, I wrote down some techniques. I would definitely use lists, such as like pros and cons lists, or the carousel technique, where they like have papers all around the room and the groups walk around and add their ideas to each one, and their groups have a specific color for them, and they write it down. And also they are able to see the other group's ideas, not just their own, but the other groups. So it's kind of like a really collaborative thinking. And then they also, at the maps and the clusters, I think could be done with pictures, which would be really cool, especially for lower proficiency. They could take pictures of what they know if they don't know the word, and like add that into their map or their cluster, and that's going to help them with their word association, which would be great. Also, teaching all the students, to use the who, what, where, when, why, and how. So when they're looking at a concept and they want to brainstorm about it, using who, what, where, when, why, and how is going to help them come up with more ideas. And it helps them ask questions. It's like a critical thinking process, which is great. Like even how I just did here for this project. I wrote down, I don't know if you can see it, wrote down in my book all of my brainstorming, because I was trying to become an expert on brainstorming. Wrote it all down by the brainstorming section, and then I went through there and I came up with, I used the questions from the thing, describing my thing, why it's effective, and how it supports them, and then I put all those ideas into each category. So it's kind of like an outline. So then I knew where I was kind of going with this. And I thought it was funny that I used a brainstorming technique to describe brainstorming. So it's super important and effective. And thank you for listening to this video. Bye.